Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. How is everyone doing today? Good to see you all in here. Anyone trading these markets now? Having huge moves to the downside. Hopefully no one's picking bottoms quite yet, but still trading with the trend to the downside. I think we had a breakout last night that was setting up for with the 3 touches on the bottom, but I missed that one. Not sure if any of you guys got into that. Anyone trading? Hey, Carlos. Hey, Cindy. Not anymore. Yeah, so we're still seeing these huge moves to the downside. Do have some buying territories, but we just want to be more cautious, especially today with the institutions just getting back. It is Monday, and we can expect unwinding of the hedges to happen today. So expect that volatility in the markets. Definitely want to be prepared today versus chasing. We do want to look for some of those good setups, again, with the 3 touches and looking for quality breakouts and looking for the leg base in all our setups. But we can see the markets right now just continuing this huge move to the downside. So again, we do have some buying territories coming up. I actually had one over here that got blown through. So again, with the markets continuing to move lower, want to be staying with the trend to the downside until we start to see more conviction to the upside. But right now, want to stay, again, trading with the trend. As they say, the trend is your friend. So that's going to be one of the best bets for us today. And again, just being a little bit more cautious with it being Monday and the banks and institutions just getting back to work. So right before we start, do you want to take a quick poll as far as those of you who have been using the website? Are there any issues? I know Jeff and I were responding to a lot of your emails this weekend. I think getting a few of you situated with some of the email issues. Is there anyone that's still having issues as far as either getting into the live trading room or just the links or the website? Feel free to let me know. Just going to take a quick look, but let me know if anyone's still having issues. Oh, nice, Gregory, the Russell. Good job. Yeah, nice moves to the downside. Let's see, Natalie, email for links still goes to the wrong mailbox. So if it's going to the wrong mailbox, go to your profile when you go to theelitetrade.com. Let's see, try this first. So when you log into your account and you sign in, let's see if I can do this. Once you log in the top right corner, you should see where it says profile up here. When you click on that, and this might help other people, you should be able to update your email address here. So again, log in, go to your profile in the top right corner, and this is a spot where you can change your profile. If you are getting emails sent to the wrong email address, I would say try this first to update your email address by clicking change profile, and that should help those of you who are having some email issues. If that doesn't work, then again, email us back and we'll try to help you guys out. See, Cindy, yours is working. Awesome. Morning, Manuel. I've only registered with the right email. I read the email. You sent the link on this website. Only registered with the right email. Okay, and Natalie, did you try this way with the old email or the email that's linked to your account? I might have to look into yours again with our back end, but if anyone else is having issues, please let us know what email address is in your profile, and if it's the right one, that's good. If you need to change it, try updating it here. Okay, we'll take a look. I'm going to write you down just to make sure that we get you fixed. Okay, yeah, I thought we changed that email address, but I'm going to look into it for you, Natalie. Breakout to the downside. Yeah, so we can take a look. Again, I mean, we can have targets on these moves to the downside, but overall, we want to be staying with the trend as price is going lower. So targets are just going to be initial targets, but then still anticipating the move to keep going lower until we start to see that transition come into play. So starting off pre-market routine, taking a look at the news, what's going on, you can see a little bit more bullish. So I see what happened to buy the dip. Wall Street's terrible start may just be bad enough to tempt in some buyers. So if this is making you want to buy right now, again, we're seeing these huge moves not necessarily a great time to get in long until we start to see some more of our odds enhancers coming into play. Similarly with Yahoo Finance, we can see the best stocks to own when interest rates rise. So best stocks to own, again, markets are dropping. We don't want to necessarily be buying quite yet until we start to see that turn come into play. Going over to Econo Day, so we have PMI composite flash, that's going to be at 9:45 a.m. Eastern time. That is a market moving indicator, so keep an eye on this one. Also on the quarter hour, so potentially the report comes out, causes that volatility, and we can see a change in the markets potentially. Rest of the week, we see a busy week ahead of us. So tomorrow, a lot of reports coming out, as well as Wednesday, we have the FOMC announcement and a lot of other reports coming out. So probably going to be a very volatile week today and the rest of the week. So just be cautious today, manage your risk closely since we are having these big extended moves to the downside. One indicator that I was keeping an eye on this morning was the trend in the pre-market to see if, again, we're dropping in the markets, if the trend is starting to move higher. But we can see the trend right now is 0.15. If the markets are dropping and we're anticipating that turn to look for buying, we want to see the trend spike at least to 1.5 or 2.0 to show that there's more buying coming into play. But in this case, with the pre-market trend being 0.15, we're anticipating the markets to still continue to move lower until we start to see the trend move to the upside. So keep an eye on that with the trend being low and the market still potentially moving further to the downside. Should we be concerned on the 401ks? I mean, yeah, since we're having this extended move to the downside, definitely going to impact the 401ks. So I'd say just keep an eye on the markets. We're not seeing, again, that turn to the upside yet. So that is going to impact a lot of these other products out there. QMI down as well. Yeah, so we'll take a look at that. Let's go over to the charts now. So again, I do have a buying territory here where we can see price consolidated before breaking out to the upside. That's going to be at 4308.25. However, I'm not going to be jumping in long here just because we are early. Once the market opens, more volatility coming into play. It is Monday, so a lot of different things that are saying just wait a second and take more caution today. We did break the prior session's low, so as we know, looking for more trending opportunities to the downside. I do have marked a 5-minute selling territory up here at 44.58, which now is getting further and further away. A lot of these setups actually triggered last night and this morning. So looking right now, we're going to need either a pullback to look for a selling territory. So you can see up here, this area where I have the black dashed lines are going to be the areas that have been used up several times. So potential breakout opportunities. You can see up here, we've tested this area several times. The nearest quality buying territory, again, as you guys know, always looking at volume as an additional odds enhancer. Have this 5-minute selling territory, but it's getting further and further away now. So we just need to be cautious with jumping into trades and having some good entry points. We're going up and to the left. So here we have our leg, base, leg out and base candle. On the 5-minute time frame, our entry is 4458.25. And then our stop is 4487. Again, S&P on the 5-minute time frame, entry 4458.25 with our stop at 4487. Again, pretty wide zone on the 5-minute time frame. You could try going to the 4, 3, 2, 1 minutes if you want to make that a little bit smaller, or also using a confirmation entry as price leaves the selling territory, or also doing the micro contracts. So I mark them out here just to show you where they're located, but then there are other ways around that. If this selling territory is too large, just ways to manage our risk a little bit more closely. That's at 44.58. Breakout point is going to be at 44.25, where we can see, looking to the left, this area has been tested 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. And then we can see that since then, we've just had this very light volume drop to the downside. Another breakout point going to be here that I was looking at before our session, where if we break out above these highs here, we can see tested once, twice, 3 times, another potential breakout point there. Potentially here as well. Let's see, going down to the really small time frames. Let's try the 1 minute. Okay, so potential entry point if we do start to move back to the upside. We can see this area here where price consolidated, and this area was tested a few times. So price coming back up, looking to take a breakout above this area here at 43.46.5. So keep an eye on that area. Again, market's just dropping, going with the trend. So good quality entry points. If we are going to go short, what are some things that we need to look for before just jumping in? Again, market's trending down. Want to get in short with the trend, but what are some things that we want to be looking for? Right now we're at, let's see, 43.11. But looking at the setup all the way down on a 1 minute, don't really have that picture that we typically want to look for. So breakout points, looking for the 3 touches on the top, or also looking for that on the bottom as well. So we don't have that yet, but keep an eye on this, especially on the smaller time frames. If we do start to get the 3 touches, then we can look for the breakouts to the downside. Let's see, demand is still, yeah, let me go back. Let's see, where was that at? We're getting close to that one. So that was a 15-minute time frame. We can see this area here where I'm looking, where price tested this area several times before breaking higher. So on the 15-minute time frame, you can see this is where price consolidated before having this strong move higher. Looking at 43.08.25 with our stop at 42.95. And then also wanted to bring your attention here. So again, the black dashed lines I'm marking just to show you where there's areas that have been tested several times. So not quality places to find our buy territories, since this we can see has been tested several times. And mark this area down here as well. We can see it's been tested once, twice, 3, 4 times. So in these areas, more looking for breakout trades if we do start to push lower. But this one is, which should be a fresh accumulation of orders potentially. Again, with the trend being to the downside, it's going to be a little bit more elevated risk. Hey, Daniel, good to see you. Kelly, yeah, we can take a look at oil. Absolutely. And still pushing lower, we're at 43.08.25. You can see that first dashed line price just dropped right through it, had been tested already. So this is going to be our next buying territory. But again, just taking a look at trend on this 1 hour time frame, still making lower highs and lower lows. So picking a bottom is going to be more elevated risk. Going over to Nasdaq. On the daily chart, again, broke the prior session's low, looking for more trending opportunities to the downside. You can see we're a bit further away from our quality buying territories over here. So these pink boxes, I just marked that prior resistance and showing you that we're looking for our buying territories below that area. Nearest selling territory on higher volume is going to be in a similar location across the board on the indexes. So on the 5-minute time frame on the Nasdaq, we can see here's where we had high volume. And this is going to be the origin of that strong move to the downside. So on the Nasdaq, our entry is going to be at 14,727.75. And then our stop is going to be at 14,858.5. Again, entry Nasdaq on the 5-minute time frame, leg base group of candles, 14,727.75. And our stop is going to be at 14,858.5. And then until we get to that point, we can see potential breakout areas where price has been used up. The first area at 14,565 has been tested several times. And also looking, so on the smaller time frame, I think I was looking at the 2-minute right before we started. You can see this area has been tested once, twice here. So price coming back up here to around 14,225 may look to take a breakout to the upside. A breakout here, though, is this going to be higher probability or is this going to be more elevated risk? Hey, Maddie, can we take a breakout to the downside if it breaks? Yeah, absolutely. So if price starts to break our buying territories and demand areas, we can look to take the breakouts, thinking that price is going to have a stronger move to the downside. So I think you're mentioning that on the S&P, right? That's getting close to our buying territory. So a good call on that. Yeah, if price is dropping into a buying territory and it's starting to push lower, we're going to want to take the breakout to the downside. Yeah, and great job, everyone. Yeah, so more risk. As we've seen before, oftentimes we try to take breakouts counter trend. We may get a nice one-to-one, but typically it is going to be more elevated risk. Exactly, Summer. Yeah, so no 3 touches yet either. I just marked this one just because it's starting to form. We can see we have 1 touch, 2 touch. We do want that 3rd touch and then the pullback, like base, to then get into a breakout trade here. But then again, still more elevated risk, as you guys are saying, since it's going to be counter trend. Let's see. Yeah, gold does want to break out to the upside. I have that marked as well. So we'll take a look at gold and we'll take a look at oil. Let's see, I'm taking a step back. So yeah, our buying territories on Nasdaq going to be further away below our prior resistance areas. So first one that I've marked is 13,578.75. With our stop at 13,462.25. Again, location-wise, we can see this one is where we had that prior resistance. So looking for those areas just below. Looks like we may have one right in here as well. Looks like that was tested once here, but we can see some of the touches coming into play here as well. And just be cautious with picking bottoms. They're going to be good for a one-to-one bounce in the meanwhile until we start to see the trend change. We can see right there, this upper one, 13,833.25. I don't think we're quite there yet. Yeah, a little bit further away. So more room to run to the downside, but looking for the 3 touches to take those breakout trades. Russell is in our buying territory right now. Let's go to the left-hand side. Anyone in the Russell right now, long? I think someone mentioned the Russell before. I don't know if you were taking the breakout to the downside, but we can see this area here, prior resistance. We had a 1-hour buying territory. Looks like it's in it now. But again, as Maddie was mentioning, if price starts to break these buying territories and push lower, then we have better quality entries to take breakouts to the downside. Thanks, Manuel. Is the one moving the most? Yeah, great job. So yeah, just keeping an eye on this now since we are in that buying territory, and then looking if price does continue to move higher, where there could be a good entry point. So I was looking again at the 2-minute. We can see here we have some of those touches coming into play here. We have 1, 2, 3, all the way down on the 2-minute. So price coming back up here, gonna look for the leg base to then take the breakout to the upside. If we start to get the 3 touches on the bottom, then we're going to look to take the breakout to the downside. So need to be looking at both sides of the picture, always look at ways to get in long or ways to get in short based off of what the market conditions are for the day. Yeah, Russell's still down. So let's take a look at the bigger picture too on the Russell. So on the daily chart, we can see took out this prior support level. So that was a key area up here that we broke. So now, again, we're in this buying territory, but if we still push through this area, really not, there's a lot of room to run on the Russell until we get to the next quality area. So going down into the left, we're looking at potentially down in this area. On the daily chart, we can see that leg base group of candles here. And that's all the way down at 1616. So just being a little bit more cautious with the Russell that if we do break this area, we're going to be looking for the trend to continue lower and looking for those breakouts to the downside. Here, our next quality area where we can see the 3 touches on the top side. Let's see, again, going to go back into the smaller time frame, 2-minute. So breakout point above these highs. So this high here is 1961.7. And then we're going to need the leg base to form before taking that breakout. But just to give you guys perspective, looking at 1961.7. Then going over to the Dow and broke the prior session's low. Taking a step back, we can see we took out this low here, took out this low. We do have a 1-hour buying territory here, but is this going to be more of a pivot point or is this more of a zone, would you guys say? Looking here. Great job, guys. Yeah, more of a pivot point because we're looking for the 3 touches on the top side. We can see we had that previously over here, which had been tested and now price is pushing lower. So this is going to be more of a pivot point. The zone may be over here within this group of candles, but then we can see looking to the left that this area has been tested once, twice, 3 times already. So more elevated risk with that buying territory. But again, could be a good area for a breakout trade to the downside if we get that bounce and push lower. So just to give you guys that on the 1-hour time frame, our entry is at 33,509. And our stop is 33,383. Again, 33,509 with our stop at 33,383. That's our 1-hour buying territory. Now going back to the right-hand side, see where we're at, smaller time frames. Let me go down to a 5-minute. So you can see again, the black dashed lines are those used up areas. So you can see up here on the 5-minute on the Dow, this area has been tested several times here as well. That's where I was looking to take the breakout if price got back up here, but still pushing lower. We're looking for, again, 3 touches on the bottom to then take the breakouts to the downside. Another potential breakout to the upside if we do push higher is going to be up here where we can see evidence of these wicks on top. No real good setups yet. We want to keep an eye on it. We still have 6 minutes till the market opens. Going over to the indexes. So all correlated, all moving to the downside. We can see just Russell is in that buying territory right now. So looking again for breakouts to the downside if we do want to continue to trend lower, but also being prepared, as you can see with these black dash lines on top, if we do see that transition, where do we want to get in long? Taking a look at bonds, so index is moving down. We can see that this is aligned where indexes are moving down, bonds are moving higher. So we're seeing that inverse correlation. Hey Danielle, I'm reading Stock Traders Almanac, and down January's are a scary indicator. Oh, interesting. Anyone else have the Stock Traders Almanac? Yeah, so being cautious, and we're seeing these huge moves lower. So definitely want to, again, trading with the trend, stay with that. Say not worried, I would say more, I was talking to Jeff about this too. I think there's where people get fearful based off of the market moving down. It's just understanding what side of the trade that we want to be on. So market's pushing lower, we want to be short. If we start to see that transition to the upside, we'll look to get in long. S&P and Russell are in demand zones on the daily. Nasdaq and Dow is just about to get, okay, so gray call manual, yeah, so if they're in our buying territories now, that's where we're going to be looking for those breakout trades to the upside. We want to be prepared in case the markets do make that transition. That's what these black dash lines are for, is to show you where are going to be those good entry points to get in long. So great observation that if they're in demand, we start to see that move back up, then we know where our potential breakout trades are going to come into play. Going over to internals. Yeah, I see going along when trend is 0.14 is that where we're at right now? Yeah, 0.14. So again, trend is low, time to go. We want to see the trend rocketing above 1.5 and 2 as the markets are dropping. The trend being 0.14 in the pre-market, institutions just aren't buying right now. So again, taking long trades to the upside, counter trend is going to be more elevated risk. So trend is very low. Going to keep an eye on the tick and advancing issues over declining issues, being at those extreme areas. Just being a little bit more cautious when reading these indicators. If they do get to these extreme areas, we may see a bounce down here on the equity indexes. Just do need to be cautious in tying in trend too, that we may get a bounce, but then the trend may continue to the downside. And then VIX been moving to the upside as the markets have been dropping. We're at 33 right now. So if the markets do continue moving lower, VIX is going to be that fear gauge where we're going to see more volatility coming into play. What about worried on the bigger picture? Yeah, so not really worried, just being cautious with our trade setups, understanding trend, where are those entry points, and staying very objective and rule-based. So market's still moving lower. So I'd say looking for more of our short positions to stack the odds in our favor. And then if we're thinking a lot of people are still trying to pick bottoms right now, you know, going back to the news, we saw it said, what happened to buy the dip? Wall Street's terrible start may be bad enough to tempt in some buyers, but we don't want to be buying as the market's moving lower and then getting stopped out on the way down. So I'd say just being cautious and understanding what side of the trades that we want to be on that are higher probability. And then pre-market indicator, so a big gap down in the pre-market. So we're seeing trend is low. We're seeing the pre-market indicator had a gap down. Are you guys feeling more bullish today, or are you guys feeling more bearish overall? The equity indexes took out the prior session's low. Yeah, more bearish, me too. Yeah, so we don't want to, again, be picking bottoms as the market's going down, want to be staying with the trend until we look for that confirmation higher. Yeah, me too, bearish. Again, with it being Monday, just want to be a little bit more cautious. Market's going to be opening in 1 minute. So let's see, we have our buying territory on S&P at 4308.25. We go down to that smaller time frame. Okay, markets opened. No setups yet on S&P, so looking for the 3 touches. And also if we're going to be trading with the trend, looking for the 3 touches on the bottom, but we don't have that right picture yet. Let's go over to the Nasdaq. Got we've got 2 touches on the top. Nothing on the bottom yet. We just have this bounce here. Let's see, going over to the Russell in our buying territory. So if we do start to push through this buying territory, we'll be looking to take a breakout to the downside. See over here on the left, IWM did gap down, big gap down. So looking to, again, that gap to continue to move lower as a gap and go. See 2 minute. Again, 3 touches on the top, nothing on the bottom. And going over to Dow. Thank you, George. Anyone else see Trader Merlin? That was a fun show. It was my first time on his show. He's a great interviewer. Let's see. Yeah, no free touches on the bottom either. So just up here, we have 2 touches here, but we're not getting the right picture quite yet. Thank you, Marie. Glad you guys got to watch it. Thanks, Carlos. It's such a fun time. Jeff and I are hoping to be back on it together at some point. That would be fun. Okay, so nothing really setting up quite yet. Let's take a look at the internals right now. So we're at 1.3. So keep an eye on this since we are starting to push higher on the trend. The market's dropping, starting to get close to 1.5. As trend starts to get above 1.5, that's where we typically see the most amount of buying coming in. And then we look to see the markets have that transition about 20 minutes after. So markets descending, going to look for a trend to move higher for then our long trade opportunities. Tick, open up at extreme low. So looking for either a bounce or potential long trade setup, but trend being to the downside. More declining issues over advancing, and VIX continuing to move higher. Was he talking about me after I left? Thank you, Callie. Yeah, Merlin's great. He knows a lot more about crypto than I do. He's like an expert when it comes to that. Yeah, VIX is we're at 33 right now. Okay, good things. Wasn't sure. Let's see, any other setups? So again, we're at those extremes on some of the indicators. All right, potentially setting up on the Nasdaq. So we can see here, now we have the 3 touches, right? So we have 1, 2, 3. Now, what are we going to need to happen here before we take the breakout higher? You ever consider sharing your rules with everyone? Yeah, leg base. Yeah, I mean, the rules are just what I'm sharing here. So 1, 2, 3 touches, looking for leg base to form. Excellent job, guys. Yes, we got the 3 touches. Let's see, let's go to a 2 minute. Looks like there was one forming here, but then it got broken through. So still waiting right now. Let's see, we're going to want the stocks to help us out if we are taking a breakout higher. Want to see the stocks moving higher as well. We are starting to see some green candles come into play. Not seeing that leg base. The only leg base I see is down here where we have leg base. Ideally, though, we want to see that form here. So taking the breakout above these highs here. Currently, we'd have to place our stop at 14,105.5. So that's where we have the leg base. That's our buying territory, and that's critical for managing our risk. If we form one here, then we can look to take the breakout to the upside and then have a closer stop for our risk management. Nice job, Manuel. Close my puts on IWM from Friday. Nice job. That's amazing. Long Russell. Yeah, let's take a look at Russell. So NASDAQ, we've got the setup almost. Our stop would just have to be at 14,105. I'm going to set this one up. But again, just keep in mind that our stop is going down here. Let's see if I can get in entry. is going to be at 14,232.5. That's going to be a buy stop order. And then our sell stop is 14,105.5. So confirm and send. Buy stop 14,232.5, taking that breakout. And then our stop is 14,105.5, since that's where we currently have our leg base. If this is too much risk, it's not your trade, you don't have to take it, and we can wait to find a different setup that might be less risk, or potentially doing a micro on the Nasdaq, since that is a pretty wide zone right here on the Nasdaq. So waiting for that right now. Let's see, did anything else have a setup? Let's see, S&P, 2 minute. Not quite the same picture. We can see this area here. You can either use lines, sometimes I like to use the boxes too, but we can see that this is that tested area over here. So price getting back up here, we'd look for that third test and then take the breakout to the upside. On the downside, we have an opposing zone here. So taking a breakout lower is going to be more elevated risk on the S&P until we get below this buying territory. That's S&P, just checking in on Nasdaq. So looks like it's starting to push higher. How do the stocks look? What do you guys think? Bullish, bearish, mixed? That's why we have them here. It's going to be a key indicator for our Nasdaq trade. Carlos says bullish. Anyone else? Apple's looking bullish. Microsoft still seems to be in more of a downtrend. Facebook bullish. Amazon bullish. Yeah, let's look for the retest. So we've got 1 test, 2 tests. We're starting to test this area a few times now. Let's see, do we have a new leg base yet? Not quite. Again, we have to keep our buying territory down here. Yeah, Friday trend. So what did we close at on Friday on the trend? Yes, we did close high, so a lot of a good call, Danielle. So didn't even think to see that, but we did get above 2. So potentially we can see that influx of buying coming into play. Just looking for those, again, quality entry points on that. All right, I think we're in Nasdaq. Let's see, come on stocks. I see Google's looking bullish, Amazon looks bullish. And I don't think we're able to adjust our stop. Let's see, even on the 1 minute. Yeah, that's our nearest leg base. All right, let's see if we can get some momentum. Apple's moving higher. I like Google, Amazon, Facebook looking bullish. Who's in Nasdaq right now? Oh, Summer Trade Station is frozen. I wonder if it's just the volatility in the markets. Sometimes it can freeze up. 3-minute stocks show more bearish. Oh, interesting. And on the Nasdaq stocks. Yeah, I have mine set for 5-minute ones. Some of these are looking bullish. I like Amazon, Google, Facebook. Summer's in, Natalie. Daniel, good call. I like that 1 micro. What are we up right now? We're up 165 on 1 mini right now. See, Daniel, 1 micro, Ed. So target price on Nasdaq. Yeah, let's see. So again, we're going counter trend right now. So that's automatically stacking the odds against us, right? Let's see, target price. So looking to our opposing area where we have the 3 touches. going up and to the left. So again, today's going to be a volatile day. If you're up right now, it may be a good day to take quick profits, not staying in too long. Just want to put that out there. Keep you guys safe and understanding the market conditions. So here we can see this area tested 1, 2, 3 times. It looks like we have this opposing target one here, 14,348. And then up here, looks like this area has been tested a few times already. You can see 1, 2, 3 tests. And then this looks like it's going to be a lighter volume selling territory anyways. Yeah, so targets there, but again, going counter trend is going to be more elevated risk. Nice job, Dave. Already out, made 60 bucks yet. So today we're not staying in too long based off of everything that we've discussed already in the market conditions. So we got the breakout, now we're pulling back. And this was our initial stop down here. Anyone else take a quick profit? There you go, gas money. Very nice. Let's see, keeping an eye on the stock still. So not completely bullish. Amazon has a red candle now. Yeah, just it's going to be harder. Again, as we mentioned, breakout trades to the upside. We get those one-to-ones, but going counter trend, that's automatically stacking the odds against us. So as long as we understand that, then we're in a better position. Nice, George. Let's see if anything else is lining up. S&P. Go to a smaller time frame. Stocks looking pretty neutral on the S&P right now. Not quite yet. Nothing on the S&P. You don't have the 3 touches on the top, don't have 3 touches on the bottom, and the stocks look neutral. Hence, we're seeing the futures markets just chopping sideways right now. Let's go to Russell. Russell's still holding that buying territory. Did anyone get the breakout on Russell? That one hit too, missed that one. So we got the breakout here at 1960. Anyone get into that one? Let's see if there's another spot. Yeah, no 3 touches until we get maybe up here. Going over to the Dow, let's see. Got those touches on top right here. So I'll move this down. We can see 1, 2, 3, 4, but then we would need the leg base to come into play before taking the breakout. Again, still counter trend. So breakout to the upside, going to be more elevated risk. Oh yeah, we'll take a look at oil and gold next as well. Yeah, Russell, can we enter now? It's near entry price. So since it's already tested this area 3 times, it's going to be more elevated risk taking it again as price is pulling back. We'd rather look for the 3 touches on top as more of a confirmation entry versus using an area that's been tested a few times already now. Yeah, so just want to be cautious. Again, trend to the downside, picking bottoms or breakouts to the upside are going to be more elevated risk. Yeah, IWM looks like a neutral candle now. Let's take a look at oil and gold. Nasdaq had that breakout back into our buying territory, looking pretty bearish. Let's see if we have the 3 touches on the bottom. We'd be looking to take a breakout to the downside. Right now we just have 1, 2, but below this point we could see a strong move to the downside. Stocks looking pretty bearish as well. All right, got stopped out, but again, no entry, and we don't have the 3 touches here. Looks like we have a new selling territory up here in this area. We have a leg candle, red candle closing within the body. But we don't have those 3 touches on the bottom. Let's jump over to oil and gold. I'm going to go back out to the daily chart. So on oil, pretty big uptrends. We're getting a pullback now. So looking for pullbacks into our buying territories to then continue the trend to the upside. Let's see, going to jump down to an hourly chart. Looks like this area has been tested a few times already. So looking over to the left, we can see price has tested this area once, twice, 3 times. So here we could be looking to take a breakout to the downside if we get the leg base to form. And then to the upside, this is going to be more overnight session volume. We do have a 2-minute selling territory up at the top. So up and to the left, we have our leg, base, leg, and base. Entry 86.63 with our stop at 87.1. Anyone trading oil right now? I think someone mentioned that one before. So yeah, potential breakout here where we can see this area being used, and then looking for the leg base before taking the breakout. You may have something in this area. Let's see. So we don't have the 3 touches. Let me go down to a 5-minute to see if we can get that. So here we can see this area. This is where we could see some of that buying coming into play once, twice, not really 3 touches. We do have that leg base just above this area. See, it's not meeting as much of our criteria though. We can see this one was formed on lighter volume. We don't have those 3 separate touches before the breakout. This one going to be a little bit more elevated risk, and then up here is going to be all overnight session volume and overnight trading. So that's 85.01 with our stop at 85.51. And then if we break this area, looking for the leg base to then take the breakout to the downside. See if we can find that. We have a leg, base, leg. Try a 3-minute. Two minute. We have leg, base, leg. There we go. So selling territory is going to be here. Now, is this going to be a pending zone or is this an active zone? We've got leg, base, leg, base. We have our breakout point down here. You guys think pending or active? Great job. Yeah, so pending selling territory, since we haven't had that 2-to-1 move away. We want it to be active and we want to see price have a strong move away, move at least 2-to-1 away for then it to be an active zone. Now we can see here again, this area being tested once, twice, 3 times. We have our pending selling territory. So we'd be looking to take the breakout once price breaks below these lows, breakout below 82.78. Yes, Sachin. So oil sell below 83 exactly. So we're looking at that breakout point, and I would be using, you can either use this low here, 83.09, or getting more confirmation, looking to the left, taking a breakout below this low at 82.78. That's oil. Let's take a look at gold. I think, Daniel, were you looking at gold? We can see the top area has been tested once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. Looking for that breakout to the upside. Let's see, for down here, we don't have the 3 touches quite yet, but also we do have a pocket of points over here. If we do start to break down, if we get a 3rd touch here, we could look to take the breakout to the downside. Because right now we only have 2 touches. This is going to be that area where we're looking for that breakout. Right in here. You can see this area has been tested and this area has been tested. So we're just waiting for the setup to then take the breakout to the downside or to the upside. And then opposing zone, be looking at the origin of this strong move. We have on the 1 hour, we have a buying territory down here that we could refine on a smaller time frame. So potentially a lot of room to run. Down here is where we have that opposing buying territory and profit target at 1813.8. We're just waiting on gold now, either breakout to the upside, breakout to the downside. Just need to wait and see what happens. All right, let's jump back over to the equity indexes. So the breakout lower did happen, but we didn't have that good setup on the Nasdaq. Let's take a look at S&P. Yeah, very, very bearish. Let's see. It looks like we had some of the touches here. We had our buying territory, got, looks like a bounce for about 10 points and then dropped lower. Anyone take the bounce on the S&P? We can see a lot of these buying territories are just getting blown through. So that's where trading with the trend, again, stacking the odds in our favor is better. Going counter trend, going to be more elevated risk. Yes, Cindy agreed. I wasn't going to take that buying territory either. Just more elevated risk. So again, looking for breakout trades, but that's where we see it's good for a little bit, but not staying too long. Again, looking for the 3 touches on the bottom to then take the breakout lower. It's like IBM has 3 touches, potentially getting the breakout lower there. We're not getting that set up on the equity indexes. Let's see the Russell going back down. Had that breakout, reverse. So we're starting to get those touches down here now. So I think as Maddie mentioned, so if we're seeing this demand and this buy territory being used up, a lot of these orders being used, that's where we could look to take a breakout to the downside once it breaks this buying territory. So in that case, we'd be looking for the leg base to then take the breakout to the downside. Let's see, all the way down on a 2-minute. See a 1-minute. We have leg, base, base. We don't have the group of candles yet. We can see this area is again being tested once, twice, 3 times. We'd be looking to take a breakout to the downside if price breaks below all of these lows and takes out all these buy tickets. And then opposing zone. So let me go back out to the daily on the Russell. If price starts to break through here, we get that pullback, breakout to the downside, potentially a lot of room to run lower. Oil near breakdown. Yeah, let's go back We check Dow real quick and then we'll go back to oil. Dow hit our buying territory here. Anyone getting Dow long for a bounce? Actually just missed me by a tick. So again, we have that breakout point here on the Dow where we can see evidence of these wicks on the top side. So price coming back up, then we have our entry point up here. But still, as we saw in the Nasdaq, we got that breakout for a small move. But then if it reverses, again, trading with the trend, that's going to be where short positions might be better for longer term. Now let's go over to oil. What's going on? We're getting close. Let's see, do we have the leg base yet? Oh, it is moving on the smaller time frames. So let's see if we can get one. We have our leg base up here. And then again, our breakout point, just going back out to the hourly. Below this low at 82.78. So right now, taking that breakout just to get more confirmation. Going to be looking to take a breakout below this low at 82.78. So I'm going to set up an order here, or you'll notice that our stop's going to be a little bit further away. So ideally, if we form the new leg base closer, we can move our stop down. So below this low, 82.77. Will be a sell stop order. And then our buy stop to manage our risk, 83.98. So confirm and send, sell stop on the breakout to the downside below this low, 82.77, with our stop at 83.98. And then again, if we form the leg base closer, we can adjust our stop. So I'm going to go to a smaller time frame and see if we're forming one. Oil's in an uptrend. Yeah, so great observation, Ed. Going out to the daily, as we mentioned, what's the trend on oil right now? You can see we took out all these highs here. Pretty strong move to the upside the past several weeks. So we're seeing these impulse moves, corrective moves, impulse corrective. Just want to be more cautious taking a breakout to the downside since we have been having this strong move higher. So Ed, absolutely, oil being in an uptrend, so this would be counter trend exactly until we start to see if price starts making lower highs and lower lows, then we get more confirmation that maybe the trend is changing. Yeah, trend is our friend. So this case, again, just keeping in mind the trend is more to the upside and it may be more elevated risk. So our 2 minutes sell territory is still there. Let me go down to a 1 minute. Leg, base, so not quite. So our stop still needs to stay at 83.98. See demand zone, 60 minute. Let's take a look. 82.58. Right in here, Ed. Let me see, 82.58. Right in here. Yeah, we can take a look at that area because we can see this upper part's been tested. Let's go down. It might be on a smaller minute. We can see on the hourly, we have our leg base, but now it's been getting chewed up several times. We'll go down to a 5 minute, see if we can refine that for our target. Leg, there we go. So here's the area where we're looking for that breakout to the downside. Below that, it looks like we do have leg base right in this area. Yes, I think we're in the same area. Yours is at 82.58. Yeah, it looks like you're looking right in this area too. So leg base. Just keep in mind, taking the breakout, we do have our opposing zone marked as target 1. This one also may be better for a quick bounce or quick move through on the breakout, since our opposing zone is going to be at 82.08. He's starting to break lower. Okay, we're in oil right now. See, did we form a new leg base, or did it just break? Go down to the 1 minute. Leg base. So we do have one here. So if you want to manage your risk more closely, we do have this sell territory here as well. We have leg, base, leg, and base. In oil, Dave, nice. Anyone else in oil? If you're not, that's fine, because the market conditions today, again, we're seeing is going to be a bit more challenging to trade. Natalie is nice. George passed. Yeah, we're not missing much today. Today is again a day to be more cautious just with the market conditions. We're up $50. I would say just manage your risk closely. If you reach that point where it feels good, you want to take the money, take it, run. Again, the market conditions are more challenging to trade today. Yeah, Cindy passed. That's good. A good mix. Some of you are taking it, some not taking it, just passing on it, which is completely okay. Let's see. So oil we're in right now. See what's going on. Dow's looking pretty bullish or bearish. Let me start with the S&P again. 4 minute. Looking bearish here. Do we have the 3 touches though? Try 2 minute. We're not getting the 3 touches, which is critical for those breakout trades. Right now we only have 2 touches. We have 1, we have 2. Again, part of my trade plan, looking for the 3 touches to then take the breakout lower. With only 1 touch or 2 touch, it's more elevated risk. Stocks looking bearish though. IBM moving lower. Goldman Sachs looking pretty bearish as well. Nice, Ed. I like that. Everyone see what Ed said? Passed on this in NQ, working on discipline of trading the trend. I mean, I got stopped out on Nasdaq for trading counter trend. Typically you do like to trade with the trend. So we're still looking for those quality entry points. Counter trend, that's where it's better to take those one-to-one profits. The S&P, anything else giving us a good setup? Still no 3 touches. And today is not an easy day. Russell pushing through that buy territory. Let's see, we have 1, 2, 3 here. I'm going to remove this. Could look to take a breakout on the Russell. You can see this area has been used up. We need to find the leg base. Let's see, we have leg, base, leg, leg, base. Actually, I do have one here. I might miss this though. We have leg, base, leg, base. To then take the breakout on Russell. I might jump in late. Sell custom with stop. Going to be a sell market order, and then stop is going above 1961.4. At this point, I'm going to wait for a little more confirmation. So I'm going to go below this low. If we keep moving lower, then I'll get in. So I'm going to change this to a sell stop order below this low at 1938.5. Just since we are starting to pull back, want to get more confirmation that price is breaking lower. So breakout below this low, again, 1938.5. And then our stop is going above our leg base at 1961.4. So confirm and send. All right, so set up on the Russell. Yeah, IWM had that gap down. So looking to, again, trade with the trend to the downside on the Russell and take breakouts with the trend. Zone on Russell 1 minute. Is it this one, Daniel? Right before the break. Internet connection going crazy. Yeah, probably with these markets starts to get a little glitchy with technology. So waiting for the break on that. And you said 1 minute. Let's see. Right before the break. Oh, good call. So we had no, that's a base candle. Leg, base, base. Yeah, looks like we're in the same area here. So leg, base, base, leg, base. And this is going to be a base candle. You apply the 3-touch rule to higher time frame. Good question, Diane. Absolutely. So let's go to even the daily chart. Let's see. Oh, S&P in weekly territory. Yeah, let's jump over to S&P. So the 3-touch is actually going to be stronger on the higher time frames. So if we go to a weekly chart. Nice observation, Diane. I like that. So we can see this area has been tested and used once, twice, coming back down a third time. So if we can see on the higher time frames, the weekly, the monthly, the 3 touches, that's just showing there's more institutional activity involved. So definitely stronger and more selling pressure coming into play if we can see the 3 touches on the higher time frames. And then would look for 3 touches for our opposing areas on the higher time frames. We can see this would be an area to look at. We have 3 touches on the top here, and then also in this area as well. We can see our opposing areas are going to be here. And then the 3 touches on the bottoms where we're looking for the breakout lower. So yeah, absolutely, Diane. Problem of trading against the trend for me is not knowing when price is going to turn back with the trend. Exactly, Ed. Yeah, so we see that's where today, again, we were trading against the trend and then we got stopped out. So that's where taking those quick profits is often better than trying to stay in it longer term in case price does go against us. Target price for Russell. It's still going lower, but we're not getting those 3 touches. I think we're getting close. All right, we're in on the Russell. Got that confirmation. So taking out this area, target. Could look at this area here. Let's see. We're going down into the left. We can see this was an area here, and I'm noticing where we can see the 3 touches here. That's going to be the closest one. So I'd be targeting this area down into the left. Looks like on the On this time frame, the 12-hour, that's going to get us in this general area for our first target of 1858. Yeah, Russell would trend this time, so stacking the odds in our favor, and we did gap down on IWM, so that's going to help us out trading with the trend versus counter trend, more elevated risk. And again, target 1858, where we can see evidence of the 3 touches on the top here. All right, how are we doing? There we go. Who's in Russell? You guys take it or pass? Nice move. There we go. Again, trading with the trend, feeling a little bit better about this one versus some of our counter trend trades. Ed, look at you, 284 on Russell. Excellent. Natalie, it's 94 on oil. There we go. Doesn't it feel better too? Like I feel more relieved trading with the trend versus some of these counter trend trade setups. Greg's still in short. Nice job. Okay, yeah, cover previous loss on Nasdaq. So this one, here we could look to add on to positions if we continue this move lower. As we mapped out, our opposing zone is a lot further away. So if we do get the 3 touches on the bottom, again, we can look to add on as price continues to move lower. That's where we'd be looking to take a breakout again below, let's see, 19, below this low, 1930.8. Yeah, 1930.8 if price does continue to move to the downside. Okay, getting a bounce now. We have our stop in place up here, 1961.3. If you're up and it feels good, again, taking the profits is always a good idea while you're up. We don't want to give back the money that we make, especially on days like today. And if we do start to break lower, we could look to add on below this low at 1930.8. So Russell, we'll let that work. How's oil doing? Natalie, you got 94 on oil. Nice, up $100. Anyone still in oil? Nice breakout there. We're up 130 right now. Daniel still holding on. Now careful here, because it looks like we have the 3 touches on the top just off first glance. We can see 1, 2, 3 here. So we can always get back into some of these trade setups, but noticing when we do have those 3 touches, oftentimes we see those breakout trades. I'd say just keep an eye on that because we are up 140 right now on 1 mini contract on oil, but potential breakout area to the upside based off of the 3 touches on the top. Jason up $100. Nice. Excellent. Daniel, good job. Oil, Russell. TradeStation, yeah. I wonder if TradeStation is freezing just because of all the market activity today. Let's see, so we got oil working. Nice little trade there. Russell, let's see. Got a bounce there. And if you're up, take the money. Don't want to give it back. So our stop again is up here at 1961.4. So if it starts going against us, we can always get out, take our profits, and then get back in if price does continue to move in our direction. See any good setups on anything else? Oh, trading views lagging as well. Yeah, crazy day. It seems to do that when the market conditions are like this. I'm not seeing the 3 touches. We're just getting a bounce right now on S&P. See Nasdaq on the 2-minute. Just got 1 touch there. What do the stocks seem? More bearish, more neutral, mixed? American Yeti having trouble with Tastyworks too. Hey, at least you're up 340. Nice job. Yeah, especially when it starts glitching like this on different platforms, typically when the market conditions are more volatile and people tend to get chopped up in that or stopped out more often. The stock's looking pretty bearish. Oh, okay, for TradeStation, took profit on oil. Nice, Daniel. Yeah, we're seeing that setup where oil looked to start pushing higher. We can see it did break out to the upside, so now it's starting to go against us. That's where, again, if we see the 3 touches on the top, maybe more elevated risk and looking to take the breakouts actually to the upside. Again, with oil being actually on this time frame more in a downtrend, but on the higher time frames, we can see oil is in more of an uptrend. Have impulse, corrective, impulse, corrective. So if the trend does continue on oil to the upside, you can see that this would be the impulse move currently in that corrective move. Again, trading with the trend, we'd look for more confirmation and breakouts to the upside on oil. Let's see if we can find anything. We'd be looking for the 3 touches on top, which we don't have, unfortunately. Maybe over in this area where we can see price tested this area just twice. It's not the right picture, but again, if we are continuing to trade with the trend, we may look to see that transition come into play and price start to make higher highs and higher lows. Yeah, gold is holding. Let's go back to gold. Yeah, just consolidating right now. So we're seeing we have support area here, we have resistance here, anticipating that breakout either to the upside or to the downside. So let's see. So we have this sell territory here. This whole area has been tested several times. So breakout to the upside above this prior resistance area, above 1845. And then we also have this key support area. So it does look like hedging, Daniel. I do agree with you on that. We can see this area also being tested several times. We can see here's that resistance. Here's our support. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tests on top. And on the bottom, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the 5th. We're in this channel looking for that breakout either to the upside or to the downside. With oil or with gold coming back down, we may look for the leg base to then take the breakout below these lows down here. Let's see if we can find that. Yeah, the one that's sticking out to me right now is this sell territory up here. But if the markets do break this support area, we'd be looking for a closer leg base to then take the breakout. I'm gonna go down to a 5-minute. Yeah, everything's lagging today. One of those days. 4-minute. Leg base. So we do have a 4-minute sell territory here. So taking the breakout below the support area, we have our pending sell territory here. at 1833.9 with our stop at 1835.8. And then that entry point going back out the 15-minute, just to get more confirmation that price is actually breaking lower, would look to go below this low at 1828.3. Oh, Russell's coming down. Let's jump over to Russell. Keep an eye on gold though. Again, the support area, if it does break below 1828.3, we would be placing our stop at 1835.9. It looks like it's coming down, so I'm going to set up my order on gold. I'll zoom in. So sell custom with stop, taking the breakout to the downside below this low, 1828.3. That's going to be a sell stop order. And then our buy stop above our leg base, 1835.9. So confirm and send, sell stop, 1828.3 with our buy stop at 1835.9. So now we wait, and that's anticipating the breakout to the downside. Again, Russell, let's jump over to that one. Nasdaq still pushing lower. You guys still in Russell, or did you take profits? Russell, we're up 130 on Russell right now. Pushing lower. Anyone still in it? Oh, took profit. Nice, Ed. Yeah, Russell coming down to 1930. So do we have a buy territory there? Let's see. 1930. Yeah, so it looks like it's using up this entire area where we had the origin of this move higher. So I took that off, and that's where we're looking at that breakout to the downside. It is in that area right now. So breaking to the downside, we may look to add on as price continues to move lower on the Russell. Going back to the 5-minute. Again, if we were going to look to short here, we would need the 3 touches on the bottom. Oh yeah, gold, I'll go back over to gold. Yeah, so gold is consolidating right now. We can see the support area down here, where we can see several tests on the 15-minute time frame where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're at the 6th time now. And then this resistance area up here on gold, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So price is just going back and forth between resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support. That's where we're looking for, if price breaks the support or resistance, we may get a nice move either to the upside or to the downside. Let's see. Yeah, the numbers for gold, looking for the breakout to take out all of the buy tickets here. My entry is at 1831.7. No, I'm sorry. Entry is below this low at 1828.3. Yeah, below this low down here is 1828.3. And then our stop is where we found our leg base at 1835.9. Greg's still in short of $3,000. Is that, which one is that? Russell? Look at you, you're killing it today. Awesome job, Greg. Let's see, we stop on Russell. So Russell had my stop at 1961.4. RSI still low on oil, but I see divergence. Good observation. Notice that your short trades on Russell and oil are taking inside demand zones. Let's see on Russell and oil. So it looks like Russell was starting to break that buy territory. So this is where if we do start to use up our buy territories, then we look to take the breakouts to the downside as more confirmation that price is going lower. So let's see if we have the 3 touches at the bottom, that's where we'd look to go short and add on to our positions. So you can see the 3 touches here, got the breakout, and then our stop is going to be up here. If we do start to see the markets move back to the upside, that's where we looked for the 3 touches on the top and then to take the breakout back to the upside. So Russell started going against us. I think I still have my stop here. But if you want to get out at break even, you could right now. Actually, it would be at a small loss. You know, the market's turning. Let's see. So what time is it? So we're 3 minutes away from the reversal. Is this high risk, like counter trend, or slightly higher risk? Again, trend is still to the downside, so want to be trading with the trend. Again, we see these impulse moves, corrective move, impulse, corrective, impulse. So if price does have another corrective move, then we want to stay with the trend as price moves lower. If price starts to break above this area, then that's where we may start to see that trend change. Question gold. Let's see. Oh my God. Okay, let's go back to gold. I see. Question high risk, like counter trend or slightly higher risk. Yes, let's go step back out, daily chart. What's the trend on gold right now? So big picture time frame, are we in an uptrend, a downtrend, sideways trend? You guys think up, down, sideways? Yeah, so pretty choppy. We can see just looking back, gold has been making more of this channel, slightly lower highs, slightly higher lows, and consolidating. So within here, where price is consolidating, more sideways action, choppier. So taking breakout trades is going to be, you're right, more elevated risk since we are consolidating. Typically, we do want to take breakout trades when we have more profit potential, but while we're still in here, we may get chopped up more. Active traders frozen. A lot of things freezing today. Equity markets gapped outside the prior days. Those gaps do not exactly, yeah. Comment equity markets gapped outside the prior days. Those gaps do not usually close the same day, right? So yeah, if it's an outside gap, typically those are what we call gap and go, and they don't fill the same day. So we can see IWM, for example, gap down. Typically, this gap doesn't fill the same day. Sometimes it takes a few days for those gaps to fill. That's where we say it's more of a gap and go. And we look to take short trades in the context of the trend. Let's see, gold is getting rejected out of the 60-minute. Let's see, go back down to the hourly. Yeah, so using up this sell territory here, buy territory here, but just versus jumping into a trade setup, waiting for that confirmation either to the upside or to the downside. But to the downside, As shown before, we do have a large pocket of points over here until we get to our opposing zone. Approaching daily supply zone, 1850. Yeah, right up here is where we're looking at on gold. 1828 price is becoming a support area. Exactly from where it was resistance before. Here we can see this area prior resistance becomes new support. This whole area, here's where we had that resistance. Now we can see old resistance often becomes new support. So if we start to break below this area, that's where we have this pocket of points here. And we can look for price to go even lower. Great observation there. Okay, so waiting on gold. Let's see how the equity indexes are doing. And I think we're going to wrap up. Let's see, so we're right at the quarter hour. We have very choppy market conditions today. That's why we're waiting for the best setups. Again, trading with the trend is going to be stacking the odds in our favor until we get more confirmation that the trend is changing. So right now, currently, we don't have any setups. Actually, let me start with the S&P. Going down to a 10-minute. So S&P, again, still trading with the trend. We would look to add on below this low. We just want to be looking for the 3 touches to then take the breakout to the downside. As far as potential way to get in long, say more back up here where we can see the 3 touches on the top at 43.85. Oh, nice, George. Trend at 1.53. Let's jump over that real quick before we wrap up. Good observation. So trend 1.5, markets descending. What does that mean? Going to be looking for some long trade opportunities with the trend moving back up. So markets descending, looking for that buying to come into play. So as we start reviewing these markets once more in the equity indexes, what are potential ways that we could get in long, looking for the 3 touches on top, and then to take the breakouts to the upside. Again, just keep in mind the trend is still down, so that's where we're taking on a little bit more elevated risk. A breakout point up here on the S&P at around 43.85. Nasdaq, 5-minute. 3 touches, we have 2 here. So price coming back up to around 14,400 could be a breakout point as well if we get the 3rd touch to come into play. No 3 touches here and not on the bottom either though. Going over to Russell. Gallo, right? I see your name is Clark. Up $1 on oil. Nice job. Let's see, Russell. Going down to the smaller time frame. So no 3 touches on top, none on the bottom. Again, breakout point would be looking up a little bit further just for a better entry point at 1985. And then Dow, no problem, Manuel. Yes, stay safe. Looks like Dow overshot that buy territory. Goldman Sachs looking a little bit more bullish, but IBM still just drifting sideways right now. Breakout point on the Dow has a little bit of a better picture here where we can see the 3 touches up top. So price potentially making that turn. We'd be looking to take a breakout above these highs here on the Dow. Above this high, 33,825. And then keep an eye on the stocks as well. All right, so how'd you guys do today? Today, challenging day, right? I mean, choppy market conditions, trend is still down. So as we saw, taking breakout trades that are counter trend, more elevated risk, trading with the trend is going to, again, stack the odds in our favor a little bit more. But how'd you guys do? Profits, losses, everything? Need to be fully transparent, especially on days like this where we can see the market conditions are more challenging to trade. Ed, look at you. Best day in 2 weeks, up 344. Awesome job. And on like one of the harder days that we've had. Great job, Ed. Yeah, I should be back on tomorrow, and Jeff as well. Summer 120. Natalie majorly losing. Yeah, today's a tricky day. So again, I feel like it's more 50-50, some wins, some losses, as long as we're managing our risk and not losing too much on our trade setups. Some are good for today. Hey, Daniel, rough day, broke even. Break even's good though, especially on days like this. Cindy, nice job, 138. Lost on S&P, 30. Okay, so we got some profits. George, 30. Jason, up $100. Yeah, so pretty mixed bag, it seems. Daniel lost on Nasdaq, gained on Russell and oil. Nice job. American Yeti up 401. Excellent job. Great job, guys. Yeah, today was tough, so definitely stay safe. We can see these market conditions are challenging. When it brings out some of the emotions like this, it's harder to trade. So sometimes it's better to just take a step back and watch until we start to see more confirmation of the trend. Right now, again, huge drops to the downside. We're seeing this volatility come into play, and the VIX, I believe, is still spiking right now. So more volatility, more fear in the markets, going to make it a lot more challenging to trade. So great job, everyone. You guys did awesome. Hopefully a lot of good lessons today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Nice job, Carlos. Stopped out, decided to stay out. There you go. Risk management is key. So if you're down, you don't want to overtrade. Have your rules in place for max amount you're willing to lose. You know, if you, as far as profits too, then like what you want to make per trade, having those rules in place is going to take out some of those emotions. Yeah, limit move, we should, let's see where are we at right now. I don't think we're close yet. Where are we at down on the S&P? So we're down 1.74%. So we still have a ways to go for limit down. And we are getting a bounce right now, so not quite there yet. Nice, Sachin, up 70. Tootin Alley, 500. Yeah, so as long as you have your, again, if what you're willing to risk per day, per trade, having those rules in place can make things a little bit easier. As long as you're sticking to your rules, you're comfortable with them and you accept them, then each trade you take, you know that that's the potential risk that you can take. Great job. Rusa, up $200. Nice job. Excellent. Hey, there's going to be better market conditions moving forward. Just again, what we're seeing these past few days, you know, we're starting to really just have this strong move down. We don't want to be over trading in this sort of environment. So stay safe, everyone. Be up on Russell, froze on me. Yeah, a lot of freezing issues too. So that's a sign as well that, you know, stay out of the trades if your platform is freezing up, because then if the market does do a reversal and we may not get our orders filled, you know, that's a big problem. So stay safe out there, everyone. If you're having any, again, issues with the website, please let us know. We've been trying to respond to all you guys with getting that fixed. Any issues, let us know. Stay safe today and the rest of the week. A lot of reports as well coming out that's going to cause a lot of volatility in the markets. Have a good day, everyone. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Great job today, and you know, just amazing job, everyone. Profits, losses, market conditions are just crazy today. So stay safe, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.